Year 1, welcome to Phonics Home Learning Week 15. First of all, we're going to have a look at this week's tricky words. Now, we've got two tricky words here. They're words that you might use if you were going to address an envelope, so these are quite handy tricky words to actually recognise. Remember that our tricky words are words that we can't decode, so we can't use our usual segmenting and blending to be able to read these words. We just have to learn them by sight. So let's have a look at this first green word. If you know it, say it out loud at home. Okay, it's Mr. And have a little go at writing the word at home so that your body recognises what it feels like to actually write that word. And let's have a little look at the second word, the blue word. If you know it, this word as well, then say it out loud at home. It's Mrs. Well done if you got the same as me. Okay, and we can see that these words definitely aren't decodable. Okay, so you might want to have a little write down of Mrs. as well, so that your body sees what it feels like to write it down. At the end of today's session, you might ask whoever's at home to remind you of these two words, and you might have a go at trying to write them down again to see if you remember and your body remembers how to write. Okay. So let's have a look now. Let's have a look at our alien words, the words that prove that we're truly decoding. So both these alien words have got some phonics and phonemes that we have learnt previously. So everybody should be recognising these phonemes now. So let's have a look at this first alien word. Try and write it out at home and put sound button learning underneath. Then have a little go at segmenting and blending. And I'm going to do the same in a second. Okay, so let's have a look at the phonemes that we can recognise. Okay, so we've got a digraph here that I recognise, a digraph here, and this must be an individual phoneme. So now that I've recognised these digraphs, I have to have a little think about which sounds they make. So let's have a look here. Now I know that this digraph can actually make three different sounds. It can be as in Chloe and Chris, could be sh, sh, Charlotte is a chef, or it could be ch, ch, chop the chips. So because it's an alien word, I could actually use any of those sounds when I'm segmenting and blending. And then I can see that we've got digraph or cut with a saw. So let's have a go. I'm going to use sh sound first. So let's go for it. Sh, ought, short. Or k, ought, caught, or ch, ought, chort. Okay, let's have a little go at this alien word. If you write it down at home and identify the digraphs that you see. Okay, everybody pause the video, remember if you need more time. So we've got digraph as in think, think, think. We've got digraph or, as in or cut with the saw, and we've got individual phoneme or. So let's have a go at segmenting and blending this word. Or, fall. That one's a bit of a tricky one, so well done, you might want another go of that one. Or, fall. Well done if you got that one, everybody. Remember to do those big robot arms or the groovy dancing or wolf ears if those body actions help you to segment and blend. Okay, let's have a look at our sound of the week. Drum roll please, everybody at home, banging those hands on your knees. Okay, our new sound for this week is a digraph, and it's digraph. Okay, now let's have a look though, because this digraph is actually a very special digraph because this digraph can make two different sounds. So we've got where it is where is the wheel, or it can also be as in a whole new world. Today we're going to be looking at this digraph making the sound as in where is the wheel, and next week we're going to look at it making the sound as in a whole new world. Okay. Now, have a little think carefully or chat with the people at home. Have a little think, where do we usually see a W and an H together? So that digraph, where do we usually see it in the word? Have a chat at home. Is it usually at the beginning of a word? Do we find it in the middle or do we find it at the end? Where do we usually find that digraph? And then in a second we're going to reveal our words that we're going to blend to read, and then the pattern should become clear and you'll have the answer to the question. Okay, so let's reveal our first word that we're going to segment and blend. So have a look at it now. If you want to write it down and put sound button learning underneath, that's absolutely fine. Okay, so let's have a look at the word. Our brain should be thinking, right, what digraphs do I see? Okay, let's have a go. When. If at home you want to do rocket fingers, that's where you hide your fingers behind your back and we count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and you blast off into the air how many sounds are in that word. You could have a go at that as well. Let's do that together. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off. If at home you are holding 3 sounds in the air, you are absolutely right and very well done. So we've got digraph, we've got individual phoneme F, and we've got individual phoneme M. So we've got F, when, 3 sounds in when. Let's have a go at our second word and blend it to be able to read it. Okay, let's have a look at this word. Now this word's actually, I'm going to move this word over to here, because although it has got our digraph of the day in, it's actually one of our tricky words as well, because if we sounded it out, have a little think what's happened. So, what? You might be thinking at home, hang on, I know what that word is by sight, and it's not what. And you'd be absolutely right. This is the word what. So I'm going to leave it down here. I'm not going to put any other segmenting and blending sound button learning underneath, because that's a tricky word and we know we have to just learn those by sight. So although it has got the w sound in, I'm going to leave it there for now. Okay. Let's have a look here. Oh, this is a good one. Let's have a look what sounds we see here. Okay, tell your person at home. If you're doing it with somebody else, tell them what sounds you see. You might want to also tell them what type of sounds they are. So, can you see a digraph, an individual phoneme, a trigraph, where 3 letters are making one sound? Let's have a look at this word here. So we've got digraph, and then we've got a trigraph, where 3 letters are making just one sound, and we do a wiggly line underneath those to show it's a trigraph. So here we've got air, where. As in, where in the world would you like to go? Let's have a look at another word under here. I think we should all be able to recognise the digraphs in this word. Be sound detectives and have a look. Pause the video if you need to have a longer think. Okay, so we've got digraph, digraph E, and an individual phoneme O. So let's segment and blend this word together. E, O, wheel. Perhaps you'd like to do rocket fingers with this word. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off. Okay, you should be holding up 3 sounds. Now, although this word is longer than the first word we looked at that also had 3 sounds, if we look closely at our latest word, we've got 2 digraphs and an individual phoneme. Remember that a digraph means that those letters are only making one sound when they're together. Let's look now at our 2 challenge blue words. Let's have a little go at this sound detectives. What sounds do you see? So we've got w, I, s, p, then digraph. Let's have a go at segmenting and blending this longer word. This is our challenge word. Let's have a go. In fact, I'm going to do it in a special way. Look at our next challenge word. Have a look, sound detectives. What sounds do you see? We've got digraph here, an individual phoneme, and a digraph. I like spotting digraphs and trigraphs and split digraphs because it's a bit like cracking a code. That's how I see decoding. Okay, so let's have a go at this one, everybody. Which? As in, which sweet would you like? That's always a tricky decision, isn't it? Okay, everybody. So, at the start, I spoke to you about having a think about where digraph is usually found. Have a look at the words we've been looking at in today's section. Were you right with what you thought? Did you say that was at the beginning of the word usually? Well done if you got that right. Give yourselves a little pat on the back and a clap. Okay, we're going to move on now to our segment to spell section. I'm going to read out these words and I'd like you to have a go at home at writing them down and spelling them with our digraph of the week. So the first word I'd like you to write is when. Remember to pause the video after each word if you need to. Second word is why. Which. Where. Wheel. And whisper. Hopefully you heard that last one, everybody. Okay, let's reveal the words now, and you can mark your own, as always at home. Remember to self-correct if you've made any mistakes in a different coloured pencil or pen. Perhaps you're typing them on another computer, and you could perhaps change the font colour if you've made any corrections to your words. Remember to pause the video if you need to look at them and mark your work for longer. Okay, there's also an activity that we'd like you to do for our phonics this week. We'd like you to go to the Phonics Play website and have a go at Picnic on Pluto. You'll find that you can choose, if I show you here, you can choose from which phase that you'd like. If I go back actually so that I can show you. You can actually choose which phase to focus on. The phase that we're focusing on in year 1 is phase 5. That's the phase that we're teaching in year 1. So try and pick phase 5. If you're finding that a little bit tricky, try and pick one of the lower phases to have a go at first to build your confidence. And I'll just show you that there. So you can pick the phases that you want to focus on. Our digraph of the week is in phase 5, so you might want to have a little go at that first. Okay. So if we go back now to our okay, and finally we are going to put the learning of our session together to be able to read the sentence that's under this purple mark here. Okay, let's have a little look. So what we're going to do, we're going to try and look for any high frequency words that we recognise. So they're those words that come up in our reading books a lot of the time, and words that we need to write a lot of the time too. So let's have a look. So we've got a high frequency word here and a high frequency word here. You might want to circle those or highlight them or just say them out loud. And then what we're going to do is have a look at these words and put some sound button learning underneath. So if you want to pause the video and do it yourself at home and then come back to the video here. Okay, so now that we've put our sound button learning underneath and we've identified the high frequency words, it's now time for us to have a go at trying to read this question. Okay, so let's go for it. Where is the wheel? So let's now try and read it. Now that we've been able to decode, let's try and read this sentence, this question sentence, as words. So have a go at home, and then let's have a go at it together. Where is the wheel? Where is the wheel? A massive well done to everybody this week. Thank you for joining us again for our phonics session. And remember that next week's session we're going to be looking at this same digraph, but as in a whole new world. Okay, let's have a lovely rest of the week, and I hope to see you soon. Take care, everybody.